Hey everybody, Main Brew Guy here. Welcome to episode 2 of Brewtubers in the News, June 15th. I am your host, Gary, aka Main Brew Guy. And this episode is brought to you by Sam from Exit 12 Brewing. Sam is a hazy IPA brewed by Nick and Brandon. That's 6% ABV, 63 IBUs. They substituted Idaho 7 for Galaxy, as this is the second time they've brewed this recipe. So they've been tweaking their recipe all along. So you need to check them out at Exit 12 Brewing on YouTube. Their beers are top notch. There we go. So they did tell me that this one had cleared out a little bit as they're hazy, but it's still hazy. And it's got a nice light straw color, decent head. All right, in world news, Launch America made history by the first ever launch of humans to the International Space Station aboard a commercial aircraft. The SpaceX team, in cooperation with NASA, successfully launched Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken from historic Pad 39A at Cape Canaveral to a successful autonomous docking to the International Space Station. I'll drink to that, boys. That's really nice. USA Today Business reports after a decade of ever-expanding beer choices, some brew pubs stated that preventing customers from consuming beer in tap rooms for up to 3 months or more could cause many to close for good. About 6 in 10 breweries said that they could not survive if it was to continue more than 3 months. So let's open up that economy. I'd hate to see that. In the SJ Pour Challenge, round 2 is completed. Round 3 is currently underway. Congratulations to those who moved on to round 3. They are as follows, listed by placement. Remember, there are 2 hubs. So first place would be Dennis Pinn and Eric Pakiewski. Hope I said that right. Second place, Wally Feck and Nate Pico. Third place, Todd Dame and Jeff Neville. You guys have a 50-50 chance of placing at least in the third place in the SJ Pour final round. So good luck and congratulations to those who moved on. FYI, in my hub, there were some incredible beers for sure. Wow, guys, this is really nice. All right, project bills of interest. Nate Pico of Under the Table Brewing is working on a chiller system. Let's check that out now.
Down here in Georgia, our groundwater is really quite high in temperature. The groundwater can be more than 80 degrees, and so chilling beer is a real challenge. So what I've had on hand for a number of years is a laboratory recirculation chiller bath, and these things are not cheap. And we were going to be disposing of it from my old company. They actually offered me 2 of them, and I took both of them, of course. So one of them is at Under the Table Brewing North. So hopefully, after my trials and things here with it, we can implement the same system up there. And you know, it's also the idea is also to conserve on water. The build is using this lab recirculating chiller bath to cool a large reservoir, a large container of water. And the idea is I have a completely enclosed loop that's you know, the cold portion is supplied off of this chiller bath, and it can closed loop circulate through whatever chiller I want, you know, with standard garden hose connection. So if I decide I'm going to switch out and use a submersible chiller like a Hydra or a copper immersion foil, I can do that. If I want to use a counterflow chiller, I can do that. If I want to use a plate chiller, I can do that. I'm in the early stages, but I have run 2 brews on it, and both have been 10-gallon batches, constantly recirculating both the work pump going through the plate chiller, and the cooling water through the cold side of the chiller. And I think I started about 45 degrees. And by the time it stabilized out, I stopped at about the cooling water was about 70. So beer at 74, cooling water at 70, that was about as far as I could get.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nate and I had a long discussion afterwards, just catching up and talking about things. All right, so the next project that I'd like to highlight is yours truly. I am working on a glycol chilling system, and it will be put out in series. So check out this teaser. This project assumes that you have some sort of keezer, kegerator, whatever you want to call it, that's been converted like this. Normally see this when somebody would be putting their taps across the front. So you measure the inside diameter of the keezer, because you're going to be building a reservoir. All right, in club news, Brewtubers are in the middle of a registration for the 2020 Brewtubers Malt Experiment, Smash That Malt, where up to 13 Brewtubers will be brewing the same smash beer, but with a different base malt. Sign up today at brewtubers.com, click on Experiments. Also, Brewtubers will be kicking off the In the Brewhouse series. Again, we will pick up where Tony Yates left off, with the exception of the person who gets interviewed must interview someone else. Anyone of their choice, however, when you make the choice, be sure that person understands that they need to keep it going. All videos will be linked in the Brewhouse series on brewtubers.com. So let's get those going. Well, this wraps up episode 2 of Brewtubers in the News. If you wish to have something mentioned in the next episode of Brewtubers in the News, please reach out to me at mainhomebrewguy@gmail.com to get your content included. All right. Cheers, guys. And cheers to Nick and Brandon of Exit 12 Brewing. Thanks for the beer, guys. Really good.